Hi, welcome back to the channel with your main girl Mel, your curly hair virtual stylist as well as curl specialist, here to help you with your curls. And I am here with my C-Stair/model, my most beautiful model, 1 year after we did her hair, which she has been patiently growing out. It's looked amazing. And with today's color transformation, I wanted to share with you some different color tips and tricks, because if there are two things that you need to know about coloring curls, it's that you need to do it delicately and you also need to do it differently than straight hair. So we're going to be sharing the curly hair balayage technique, which is known as Pintura highlighting. And we're also going to be doing a first impressions review. I am so excited to try the K18 hair biomimetic scientific hair repair treatment. We're going to be testing this on Amanda's bleached lightened hair, but only on one half of her head, so we could be able to see how well it works, and hopefully the other half doesn't look super crazy. So without further ado,
let's get to it.
So what makes curly hair different from straight hair? It's the actual shape of the hair follicle, and also, of course, the texture, the shape of the strand. So it can really show damage much more than straight hair can. So that's something we need to know when we are coloring curly hair. It needs to be done super delicately, and it needs to be done taking into consideration how the hair lays, how it moves, the shape. So usually when I'm going in to cut and color curly hair, I gotta build the house before I paint it. The haircut is gonna be a huge determining factor. Now C-Stair, as we've discussed, she's loving her haircuts. Like, this is her signature look. We are just going to be touching it up, so I'm going to worry about the cut afterwards, and we're actually going to go right in highlighting on her naturally styled hair. For a Pintura style of highlighting, which is balayage on curly hair, the whole idea is that you are highlighting the curls that you want to pop, that you want to highlight. So you need to see how the hair is styled and how the curls naturally lay in their natural state, and so that's why we're going to go in just as we are, just like this. Before this wash day, Amanda what did you do?
I clarified my hair.
She clarified her hair, so we know there's not a lot of buildup that's on her hair to impede and impose with the color process, but she does have just a little bit of light styling product. Shouldn't be an issue. We're going to go right in with my lightener, which I'm going to mix up. So while I slowly mix up my clay lightener, I'll explain to you why I am choosing to use this. A clay lightener is used in balayage practices like the Pintura. Now, Pintura is a fancier name for balayage on curls specifically. It was actually coined by Diva Curl and Schwarzkopf, which is the lightener that I'm using. This is the Schwarzkopf Blonde Me Clay. This goes up to 7 levels of lift, which we will not be needing, by the way, because again, we're going for a more natural look with just those nice pops of highlights. But what this does is it actually processes open air. So we will not be using any foils on Amanda's hair today. That alone is a less damaging practice, because when there's foils in the hair, foils they incubate heat, and heat on hair, especially in the chemical process, is what causes a ton of damage. We don't use heat when we are coloring and we are highlighting. And in the past, we've definitely used foils and it's been fine. But that lack of incubation, that lack of heat is only going to be much easier on the hair, especially because this whole process, what I am mixing up here is not just clay lightener, it is also the developer. The developer is an oxidizer. What is an oxidizer? It's causing a reduction reaction. That is basically burning flames. That is how it works. How does fire work? It's a reduction. It's oxygen getting into the product. I am mixing oxygen into the product. That alone is damaging. So what did we learn from this? Use a low developer. I am using 20 volume, and we're not using any heat. It's all open air. And now that we are mixed up in here, we're gonna start applying over there. Are you ready? So jumping into the hair now, I'm going in with super organic sectioning because I don't want to break up the curls, but I also need to have a rhythm because I know Amanda likes to straighten her hair as well. So I can't have crazy random placements. I do want there to be a cohesive look to the highlights and also still dimension. So you're going to be surprised, maybe you will be, by how little highlights I put in, because we already have pre-existing dimension on her ends, which I am not going to touch. I just need to break up the darkness on the top. So that's where we're just going to be adding some lightness and just a little bit so we do see those ribbons of color and it doesn't become overly saturated with too much highlight. So I know Amanda's hair is super long. I know that I need to add some highlights underneath. Otherwise, once I cut her layers, the underneath is just not going to be cohesive. So I am going in under here, and it's such a visual technique, this Pintura. I really want to pick up the curls that, again, I just need that pop. As I'm in the back of her head, I'm going in with 20 volume mixed with just a little bit of 30 volume. Now, if I were doing foils, highlights, I would never be going in with that high of a developer this soon at the back of her head, because I know that it's going to sit on the hair for a longer period of time. But because clay liner does develop in the air, you don't get as much lift as you would if you were in foils. So as we move along your head, I will be bumping up the strength of the developer.
How long has Pintura highlighting been around?
Over 20 years. I actually did this technique on myself, which was fun. Yeah, it's not an easy process, but it was a fabulous one because, again, what's great about Pintura is it's made to highlight the curls that you want to see pop.
Will this be faster than regular highlights?
It can be, yeah, because foiling can, everyone's different. But foiling can take its time, that is for sure. I will mention that usually anytime I am highlighting hair, I always include Olaplex in the color, in the lightener, throughout the service, in the home care, because Olaplex is the bond repair treatment for hair. But I do want to try the K18 treatment after this. I truly want to see how that treatment works on its own. K18 does work differently than Olaplex, and I'll talk a little bit more when we get to that part of the service, but I will be applying it afterwards. And in the meantime, this lightener has a built-in bond repair. So we have that to protect us. Right, C-Stair?
I would hope so.
No worries. And cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Right?
I hope so.
She's worried. That all being said, I want to move quickly, so I'm going to stop talking. Okay, so on to our next step. We shampooed Amanda, so all the lightener has been rinsed. I'm gonna remove the towel. It's very important to towel dry her hair before the next step. Stop looking.
I looked in the mirror. I'm not looking.
This towel is now soaked and your hair is, oh my God.
I can see the top of my head in the mirror.
Well, stop looking.
Now for the moment we've all been waiting for.
No, this is the moment that I've been waiting for.
Me too. You keep talking about it. She has been talking about K18 for months.
Since I first heard about it, which was about the beginning of the year. So finally, we have our hands on it. And how this works is I'm going to start with the professional, this is the professional use only molecular repair hair mist. And this can go on before color.
Wait, I have a
on
question.
shampoo hair.
Is K18 only for hairstylists?
There's a leave-in molecular repair hair mask that consumers can use at home to maintain the health of their hair. And that's what Amanda's going to continue using after this hair day. Because treatments like this, we need to see them live their course on Amanda's hair. This is just going to be my first impressions. And so a little bit goes a long way. That's what I've heard about this.
So to test the K18, Mel and I discussed we're only going to be trying it on one side of my head so we can really see if there's a big difference in my hair. Another thing I wanted to try is I find that the left side of my hair is not as curly as the right side. I think that could be because I favor the left side when I'm sleeping. So I think we should test it on my left side.
Let's do the left side.
Yeah.
It might need a little extra help.
Yeah.
So we're just going to focus this just on the one side, and let's see this side by side by the time we're done. I'm going in with the molecular repair hair mist. Now this and all the treatments, they work best on clean hair. So going in, a few sprays is all you need. I don't want to put too much because I heard from my mentors, well, you don't need a lot. I don't want to waste it. Okay, I'm done. We're just going to let that
sit in for 4 minutes.
4 minutes. In the meantime, I'm gonna mix up the toner. All right, so Amanda's hair is being toned. We're gonna shampoo this toner out and then come back to finish off the K18 treatment with the mask. We're back from the shampoo. You can see we have one half of Amanda's hair clipped up because this side was only shampooed. K18 only goes on shampooed hair. You do not condition. So for the other side where we're not doing the treatment, I did condition. What are we, crazy? We're going to be putting on the Professional Molecular Repair Hair Mask. Oh, let's break the seal together. And I am going to put this on in sections. I haven't combed this side of her hair out at all yet. I'm just going to split this in two. So for Amanda's length and density, I would probably use, for the whole head, 4 pumps of this. But that's what it's directed. Let's see how big a pump is. Okay, that's it. Amanda, I heard if you put a lot, it won't do anything.
What?
I don't know, Amanda. I don't know.
What is this stuff? Like, I don't understand.
It is a hair peptide. It is a patented peptide. What is a peptide? It's an amino acid. It's like protein, and it's going to repair your hair from the inside. We will also be able to see it on the outside. It should feel like silk and brand new afterwards.
If it actually doesn't, it's gonna really bother me that this side doesn't feel the same. What does it feel like? What does it smell like?
It feels like any other conditioner or mask. I'm just gonna take half a pump more, and then we just let this sit for 4 minutes, and we're not gonna touch your hair for 4 minutes. And then we can put on whatever other products we're going to use on top. This does not get rinsed out. 4 minutes has elapsed. We can now go in and we're going to prep Amanda's hair. I am going to be cutting it while it's damp, so I just want to make sure that there's enough slip as I work through her hair. I'm going to be using the Aveda nutriplenish leave-in conditioner, and this is going everywhere now. Brushing all that through with the Tangle Teezer wet detangler.
Does my hair feel any different on the K18 side yet?
So far, no. Not yet. Okay, now that Amanda's hair has been trimmed up, we're on to the last step. We're gonna style, and because we know that her hair has just been through a lot of stuff, we're gonna be using Amanda's go-to routine and her product that does contain some protein, since that's what Amanda's hair is in need of right now. We're going with the AG Curl Fresh Definer. So I'm going to just apply some of this all over her hair, and we'll work that through with a brush to define her curls. As per usual, we're not going to do anything crazy with the styling today because we really just want to see how her curls come out naturally. But so far, as I've been working through the hair, I wanted to update you on how it feels. And both sides feel the exact same. Yeah, we'll leave it at that for now. But let's see how it dries. I'll show you that in just a moment. And voila! And it's also the next day. But hey, we have finally given you the final result. Now that she's finally complete and looking amazing, let's talk about how she's feeling. Do we feel a difference on the K18 side versus the non-K18 side? Amanda, you live with your hair, so how does it feel to you?
Honestly, it may feel the slightest bit like smoother on this side.
I don't know, the curls look fabulous on both sides. Hey, you know what? You know what, Cease? This is your assy side. You said this is the side which usually sucks, and it looks just as fabulous as the other side. So, there's that. Amanda is going to keep up with the K18 treatment now for every wash for the next 4 to 6 washes. She is going to shampoo, not condition, and apply the mask. Leave on for 4 minutes.
Yes.
And then apply her styling products as directed. And I'm excited to see how it does. We will be sure to update you. But based on our first impressions, I think I got my expectations like really high because of the things that I have heard. We will keep you updated on how Amanda's hair color continues to look, both curly and straight. Maybe I'll try it myself. And be sure to give you a full K18 review in the next few weeks once she has tried it consistently.
Yeah.
But as for the rest, we look at her haircut, which has just been refreshed and revamped. She's got great layering on the sides here, which really gives her this nice voluminous silhouette, which she likes, while also removing excess weight. Your hair looks literally weightless. Amanda, what do you think?
I love it. It looks amazing. I love the warmer tones.
We really warmed it up a little bit. It looks really rich and also just refreshed. The back of your head especially looked like a black hole before, and now that everything's brought up, you can truly see those ribbons of color that the Pintura highlighting technique gave, and it looks so pretty in your curls. You still have tons of dimension, and I know a lot of people like to go darker for the fall, which is what you did last year. We'll share her last year's coloring video up here. Do you notice a difference in the Pintura style highlights compared to other highlights that we've done?
Definitely didn't take as long as when you used the foils in my hair, although my hair, the whole process was a long time. We were doing my hair for about 6 hours to come to the final result. That's why we're filming this the next day, because we went into the late hours of the night. The Pintura highlighting technique definitely took less time, and I feel like you can appreciate the highlights a lot better. They're a lot chunkier and they flow into the curl beautifully.
And if you're interested in this kind of look, be sure to consult with your stylist on if they know how to balayage on curly hair. Maybe see a curl specialist. I'm sure they'll know the Pintura technique. If you're going to show inspiration photos, and if Amanda is going to be one of them, screenshot this now. And be sure to point out what you love most about the style. Remember, sometimes that's easier than trying to get technical with the terms because some people call different techniques different names. So if you point out exactly what you like best and ask if it's going to work for your hair and your texture, then you should be off on your hairy way.
Thank you so much for watching this week's video. Make sure to subscribe because we post new videos like this every single Texture Tuesday. And stay tuned till next year because that's when we'll be likely doing my hair again.
Minimum. This has been your main girls, and we are out. Peace. Take one, day one. Finally doing sister's hair after a whole year.
What are we doing?
Oh, that's for me to know and for you to find
Is my hair going to be lighter at the end or darker?
Your hair is going to be warmer.
Warmer.
But still with depth and dimension. And that's for me to know and you to find out, like I said. Should probably put an apron on. But we're gonna keep it clean, we're gonna keep it classy. Stay tuned. After the break. Back break. The back. What's that look like to you, man? Orange? She's saying orange? It is pumpkin pie season. And this hair naturally dries very quickly. And so here we are. I've basically finished this water bottle.
Oh my god, I keep looking at myself.
Okay, well maybe don't. Oh.